calculator to get our 5-number summary and then to construct a box plot. So the first thing that you want to do here, I'll start at the beginning here, is press Stat and again go to Edit and then choose a list. So I chose list 3 to type in all of your data. Once you have your data typed in, you can go to Stat, this time tab over to Calc, and then do a 1 variable stats. And then make sure you choose the correct list where you saved your data. So I'm making sure that I'm choosing list 3 and then press Calculate. So the 5-number summary includes your minimum value. So here my minimum value is 85. And then Q1 is an IQ score of 91. If you keep scrolling down, Q2 is also the same thing as the median. So that's 96.5. Q3 is 108. And then the maximum IQ score is 127. So that is how you can get the 5-number summary and all your 3 quartiles using the calculator. Okay, now let's take a look at how we would create a box plot. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go to stat plot by pressing second y equals, and we're going to turn one of our stat plots on. So right now notice off is highlighted, so I'm going to press enter to turn one on, and then I'm going to choose the 4th option here. Okay, and then next thing you're going to do is choose the list where you save your data. Now before I press graph, I'm going to go to my y equals because I've got some equations in here from my other class, and I'm going to just make sure that I deactivate all of my equations so that these equations don't graph on the same plot. So you'll see here that to deactivate them, you just want to unhighlight the equal sign if you have any equations saved in your calculator. Okay, and then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my window here, and I want to set my window so that I can actually see my box plot. So your X here represents your IQ scores. So I'm just going to put in 85, which is my smallest IQ score. A good rule of thumb is to just round down to a nice whole number so it allows you to zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to just round down to 80, and my highest IQ score is 127, so I'm just going to round up to 130. Again, this just allows you to zoom in and out. For your X scale, I would put 0 here. And then if you press, and then now if you just go to zoom and then choose option 0, which is the one after 9, zoom fit, right? There is your box plot. So that's how you can create your box plot. And then if you actually take your arrow key here and actually trace, so if I press trace here, the cursor is going to show up on my box plot, and then you can use your arrow key. So here we can see our minimum value of 85. Q1 is 91. We can see the median there is 96.5. Q3 is 108, and our maximum value is 127. So looking at this box plot, we can kind of see that our data is a little bit skewed to the left, more IQ scores on the lower end than on the higher end, and so that also makes sense that the median is going to get pulled down a little bit to the left here, and our interquartile range is represented by that box, that rectangle. And then we can also see that because the median is not exactly in the center of this box, which represents the middle 50% of our data, our distribution is not really perfectly symmetrical about the center if we're talking about a bell-shaped distribution.